Hey there, social studies friends. Thank you so much for taking the time to join us for this tiny video where we hope to, in less than 3 minutes, give you some skills and strategies that you can begin using tomorrow. This is brought to you by the incredible social studies team at the Georgia Department of Education. Today, we're going to be talking about a primary source analysis tool. And so in social studies, we're all about inquiry, and this is a tool that can help your students learn the skills of inquiry. It's called ORQ. And although it's good for any primary source, for today's little video, we're going to be talking about how we can use it with maps specifically. Some of you may be familiar, but for those of you who aren't, let's break down what each of these letters means. O is for observe, meaning examine, look at. R is for reflect, having the students observe, examine a source, in this case, a map, and then begin to consider what they know, what they wonder, and then finally formulate questions. And so, a question that may be on all of your minds is okay, so we understand what this has to do with sources. What does it have to do with maps? Well, just as a general reminder, maps are sources, and students should engage in analysis of these sources just as they would with texts and images. Apart from enhancing their map and globe skills, these maps give us some really critical information about time, place, history, changes over time, continuity and change, all of that good stuff. So let's get into a little bit more of how it would work. Well, what you do is you would present students with a map and then you follow these steps. Let's break it down. So as I mentioned, the O begins with observe. This is a chance for students to acknowledge what they see. No inferences, just the facts. Some questions that you can use to facilitate this process are what do you notice first? What kind of structures do you see? What do you notice about the people? Is there anything you notice because it is not there? Then you move into the opportunity for students to reflect. This is the time where they can make inferences, but you want them to also provide evidence. So going back to what do you see that makes you think blank? Some of the questions you can use to facilitate this are what is this place? When is it? What are the people doing and why? Who created this source? Why did they write it, photograph it, record it? Who was their intended audience? And then finally, we get into the question. And the question is when you get to build on questions from the reflection. The usual suspects, still matter. The who, what, why, what's the intended audience? Some of these questions that you can use with your students are, is there anything confusing in this source? Anything that bothers you? What do you want to know more about? Choose a person in this source. What question would you ask them? So you all know what comes next. Don't stop trying. And when you get a chance to try this out with your students, please make sure you're following us on one of these socials, including the Georgia DOE community, and share with us how it went. Thank you so much for watching.